Hey everyone. It's common knowledge that the one sector that's not really the best place to work at is like catering or fast food. Every single person has their own story about like an awful experience they had working there or witnessing like a co-worker having an awful time. That should mean like how those jobs, they're not really trustworthy. Like they don't give you the same protection as like much more high quality ones that, you know, where you have to like really royally f*** up to actually get fired from. If you're a waiter, in some places they just fire you because they want you or for the tiniest minute detail. But I see this lady right here on TikTok, the only one of a kind, it has the dumbest reason for why she got fired from a restaurant. Well, from no matter what angle you approach it from, it just has no logic. Let me approach the story very gently. Most weird shit that goes on, you know, in public or in a store, people like you pull out their phones to record it. Mostly because people have been conditioned to do that over years of using the mobile phone, but also because, you know, sometimes it is so bizarre, no one will believe you unless you have, you know, actual video evidence. And if you're working at a restaurant, that increases the odds of seeing some weird shit by tenfold, because you have like numerous people walking in and out every hour. Well, they can go home by themselves and jack off in a blankie, but you have to stay there at your job for like an 8-hour shift maybe. But the issue is that most places don't let you use your phone, which sort of makes sense, you know. If everyone had the ability to go on the phone when they're bored or if it's a slow day, no one like gets shit done. Even if you have a customer in the back, you know, waiting to order, but you haven't noticed yet. I'm not saying that every boss like forces you to like put your phone at the end of the shift, you know, in a tiny gay box like a child, but they're definitely subtle about it. So maybe you can use the phone for like a few minutes in the kitchen, but definitely not scrolling through TikTok or walking around the dining area, because it looks unprofessional, like you don't care, and this could happen as well. It's not big of an issue because I think most restaurants are so busy, during rush hour especially, that you don't even have a second to actually relax, so it's not big of a difference. However, let me ask you something. If you're a waiter and it's a slow day, maybe you have like 3 or 4 customers, not that much, but one guy walks in with an actual blow-up doll and sits down and orders food normally and doesn't act like there's cum dripping out the doll's mouth, would you feel encouraged to treat him like a normal customer and now record his act of God on your phone? Well, now that I've spilled what happened in the video, I might as well show the full thing and like the lady's reaction, because it is funny.
Okay, so I'm not supposed to be making TikToks at work, but this calls for it. I work at a nice restaurant in Charlotte, and I need you guys to see what just came in the door.
It's a good reaction, I like that. I saw one comment that's pretty funny, like how the guy that brought the doll, he's not even like looking at her in the eyes, he's going for his phone. But now that I've shown the TikTok, I have to admit, if I was her as well, I would definitely get out my phone and record him, because how often do you see shit like that every single day? Not that much, because very few people actually witness it, which is why this TikTok blew up and got a shit ton of views. Let me check how many. 2.6 million views with 500,000 likes. That makes sense, I can get behind that. Most like TikToks I see on my For You page have like, you know, 5 million likes. It's a kid doing a dance. It's clearly a product of that video getting like freakishly lucky and blowing up with everyone seeing it. But how many TikToks can you compare to this video right here that even is like somewhat similar, like that cringy? But since it blew up, now you have 2 issues. 1, everyone saw it. And 2, I've noticed that TikTok, even if you don't follow someone, if it detects that, you know, that you're around them, like location wise, it can pick up like who's your family and friends and your co-workers going through your contacts list. And then it can show your videos in the For You page, which honestly, in no other scenario, is that like not awkward. Which is unfortunately what led to her getting fired, because most definitely, either her co-worker or boss saw her video, it was probably most of her friend, and showed it to her boss as a joke, but they probably didn't find that funny. Because maybe they believe that she broke a policy of recording customers, and they felt like she had to leave. But honestly, from the video on the TikTok, she wasn't that close to the guy, you know, where it felt like invasive. She was a good distance away, to the point that the guy couldn't see her. It wasn't like most of the people, like I know employees on TikTok, most people, if they saw some weird shit like that, they would run to the guy and yell his face, you know, getting angry. Plus, I mean, come on, in that situation, it would make sense to make fun of him, because, you know, he is a paying customer, he's not bothering anyone, even though it kind of is, because you would feel uncomfortable. Well, even if you're across the restaurant, like far away from him, you can't shake off the fact that there's a blow-up door staring at you like... It goes back to what I was saying earlier, like the smallest detail or a small up in your job, if you're working like catering or fast food, they can fire you just based on that. Like that one Chick-fil-A sauce girl that was like... She kind of got fired, or not really fired, but the manager saw like how she blew up, and instead of like outright kicking her out because they wanted you, I don't know why, they f***ed up her schedule so bad that she only went from like working full time, like 5 days a week, to only a 3-hour shift once a week, which essentially shifts the blame onto you by making you quit and like saving up the paperwork and the legal hassle from the managers so they don't actually fire you. Maybe there was some drama between the waitress and the restaurant in that blow up doll TikTok, but she did say like it's a nice restaurant, so they should at least, you know, have some respect, you know, fire someone that quickly. The best thing I can think of is that the guy would have seen the TikTok blow up and sue the restaurant for harassment. Barely, but it does somewhat seem possible in the eyes of a 6-year-old manager. But that would never happen because the freak, the hunchback that brought the sex doll, he saw the TikTok and actually commented saying that it was all a joke, like not actually earnestly, like he actually to sing and sees as his wife. And apparently the whole backstory is that the guy is a fantasy football player, like American football, from the pigskin. Where he lost some league or some big game, and due to fantasy football culture, he had to like do, forced by his friends, he had to do like one really embarrassing thing. And I guess in a council, they all picked on that joke for him to bring a sex doll to a restaurant, which is really funny. Even though you don't really see them there in the restaurant, so he was all by himself. At least he did find the whole thing funny because he took pictures of him and his mistress there sitting on the table, and from that last picture you can see in his eyes, he does something like that cringe where it's a good joke, but it feels like painfully embarrassing. Which probably explains why he was going on his phone, where he was forced to like do a 3-course meal, but he couldn't bear actually looking at the doll. I will admit, I do like seeing like events line up where not only did that TikTok blow up, but the guy happened to see it by pure luck and comment as well. That was good, I like that. It reminds me of like some other Instagram reel I saw that felt like very surreal, and I realized it was satire, but it still felt good. It was a screen recording of some guy's story being like, oh my god, these tacos are so good, or some nachos, whatever, and he keeps on staring at a distance for quite a while, and then he looks to his left like, what's going on over there? It's like some guy, you can barely see what's going on, and then it switches to another guy's story where he's recording himself walking into the restaurant, like barging through employees, and sticking like a whole bag of ice right there in the fryer, and walking out. Like 2 stories connected together to make like one whole thing, even though it's like pretty fake because the guy makes like skits. Well, it's not really fake, the guy still like dumped the ice to the fryer, so he still caused a scene, but the reaction, it was staged. But that's a different story. Back to the waitress that got fired, she doesn't seem that pissed off about it because I haven't really seen a TikTok for being angry about it. I've only seen that one TikTok that got 500,000 likes, and she was probably upset that that one specifically blew up because many singles she makes, doesn't get that many likes, but that one in particular that would led her to get fired, it got massive. If it didn't get 3 million views, it would have said like as a nice relic as part of her TikTok account. But she probably is proud of this world. And at the same time, being a waitress, like I said, not the best job, so probably like not a lot of skin off her back to get fired. She'll find somewhere else, like a better place, definitely.